What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. Welcome to B Sports Picks. So yesterday we went 4-1 in the college bracket. I'm going to show you how I came up with this stuff. We actually took the models from different people, and they've been profitable over years for the NCAA brackets. It's not really simply about picking winners and picking heavy favorites and upsets and stuff like that. There's an actual formula that goes behind this. I'm going to show you exactly. There's two very strong edge leans, and then there's 5 medium edge leans. What that means is that there's a confidence level on college on which ones you should be looking at. I'm going to show you all that stuff and exactly how this formula works. I've already ran it for today. These are not confirmed yet. I still have to go through the confirmation process, but it's a good start. So let me just walk you through what happened yesterday, and then I'll get right into the college picks, the college leans. And then also, let me just get started. So yesterday we had a 13-7 day overall. That's just with everything. So it did break our winning streak. On our live channel, the stuff that I've been throwing out live, it went 9-3. So it was a slight profitable day on that one because of the odds. Overall, in the last 8 days, we're on a 99-30 run. I'm going to restart this after today. I'll restart this, this tracker. But you can see it's a 76.7% hit rate in the last 8 days. Okay, and a lot of that has to do with the live betting. So check out the pinned comment, the link in the description if you guys want to check this out. Also, if you want the day card for today, I've already threw out 3 of them in the VIP. So let me know what you guys think about this. These are all the wins from yesterday. We did have 7 losses. So it was a slight loss day because of that. But anyways, this was a live bet. This one was a live bet. This one was a VIP throw out there. Live bet, another live bet. This one I threw out. So this is one of the system plays that I'm going to show you. This was Arkansas at 9.5, and then Houston at a minus 14.5. Both of these hit, I should say one of them hit because it was a parlay. Then this was a live bet for Howard. Also another live bet, and another live bet. So you can see there's a lot of wins right there. Like I mentioned, it's a 13-7 day overall. So let me get right into the system here. So basically what this does is it looks at all the team rankings for every team. And let me just show you what the games look like for today. So this tool right here is called the Sharp Edge tool. And basically it breaks down every single game. And you can see it gives you all the projections for all the teams and all the scores and everything like that. It also gives you their rank and the win probability that what's going to happen with these games. So once we have all this information, we look at the team. We look at the teams on the defense and the offense. So this actually travels very well overall because it's not just based on how favorite they are or how much of an underdog they are. This literally gets into the granular stuff, into the numbers. So for example, this one what is this, Michigan? I believe this was the Michigan game and Tennessee game. So you can see effective field goal percentage. Michigan outranks them right here. And then on this side, this is defense, okay? So basically, the ones we're looking at is right here, okay? So the effective field goal percentage. So you can see right here, Michigan outranks them right there, okay? And then we got the free throws. So the free throw percentage. Free throw percentage, these guys outrank them also. You can see it's 73 and then 70 over here. And then we got the turnover ratio. If you look at the turnover ratio, where is this? Right here, assist to turnover ratio. So you can see these guys turn over the ball very slightly, not too much of a big difference there. Offensive rebounds. So we go to the offensive rebounds, 25. So they're pretty similar, not crazy. And then on the defense, these guys are actually very good. So that's something to take note of, okay? Tennessee is much better defensive rebounder versus this is 321st versus first. Okay, so literally this is the best team for defensive rebounds. and then the assist to turnover ratio, which I just talked about over here. So anyways, it takes all this stuff into consideration. This is the system right here. So it takes all these numbers and then it weighs them. Okay, so this is a weight of 5. Free throws is a weight of 4. Turnovers is a weight of 3. Offensive rebounds is a weight of 2. And then the assisted turnover rates is a rate of 1. And then it breaks them all down just like this. This is 16 games today. USU versus Ville. And you can see the edge, it goes to UCU. And they have a small edge. Okay, and then so on. I'm not going to go through all of these. Be ready to take a screenshot because I'm going to show you something very important right now. So this shows you pretty much how stable this team is on the left versus how stable this team is on the right. So, for example, all these teams pretty much. So the 1, 2, 3, 4. So these first four teams are very stable compared to a mixed, mixed, and so on. Okay. So once all that stuff is done, it's filtered out. All this stuff is using algorithms. But once all that stuff is filtered out, you don't have to even think about it. You get this final report right here. And this is what I want you to take a screenshot of. So there's a large edge over here for Miami, Ohio. And then there's a very large edge for Arizona. Now, I took a quick glance at the odds, and I think Arizona has what's up, man? Good morning. So I think Arizona actually has their odds are dramatically high. Okay, so this system right here is just telling you where the edge lies. It doesn't tell you to go with them because some of these games might be the odds might be ridiculous. Like the spread might be minus 24.5, for example, or Miami, Ohio might be minus 14.5 or whatever it is. So again, it just tells you these are very large edges and then medium edges. Okay, so take a screenshot of this. This is the games I'm going to be looking at. There's a lot of other stuff that goes into this. I have to, run it through different scenarios and stuff like that. But this is a great starting point. This is actually the stuff that I look at. And like I said, this went 4-1 yesterday, just based on this stuff right here. So anyways, that's what it is. So I'm going to get into the games real quick. And like I said, what's up, man? Good morning. So again, I have them written down over here, the ones I'm going to look at. So it's Miami, Ohio, for example. If you guys want this tool right here that I'm looking at, it's called the Sharp Edge. It's 2 weeks for free. Check out the link in the description for that. So Miami, Ohio, you can see they're supposed to lose this game by 13. Tennessee does have a huge edge over here as far as the win probability. The line did go from a 10.5 to it stayed at a 10.5. So this is what I'm talking about, okay? Just because one thing is very solid, so this might actually be an upset, or you can take the plus 10.5 if this is making sense. I hope this is making sense. So this doesn't necessarily mean that Miami, Ohio is going to win. It's just telling you that they have an edge over the Volunteers. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that doesn't make sense. So anyways, Miami, Ohio, you can see is the ranked 30th team versus the 16th. Overall, the turnover, everything I've already talked about is on Tennessee's side. And then it does say that the projected is Tennessee supposed to win this. So already I can tell you, even though the first system is showing that we should be looking at Miami, Ohio, I'm going to stay away from this because everything else is matching towards Tennessee, especially when I'm looking at this weak defense over here. Okay. So anyways, so the first game, I'm going to scratch it off the board. I'm not liking it. All right. And then I'm going to go to Arizona. All right. So Arizona is not giving me projected. Look at this line I was telling you about, minus 29.5. It did go up to minus 30.5. So this team is dramatically better than the other team. You can see this is the second ranked team versus the 133rd ranked team. The edge does lie with Arizona. So I guess, again, if we go back to this thing here, this is where you can truly find upsets. Okay, so obviously this Arizona is dramatically better than the other team. I'm not going to keep going with that, but if you were to find a team that is, that is not, so it's reversed logic, I guess, is that if this team has an edge, but then the numbers don't line up, then those are the teams that you should be looking at. This Arizona is going to be a very easy win for them. It would be very, very a miracle if the other team upsets Arizona, especially at a minus 30.5. Is that making sense, guys? Let me know. So, anyways, this is an elite team, so I'm gonna check this off as a good play, but obviously I'm not gonna take that huge spread. So the ways I can, there's a couple of ways I can play this. I can buy it back to the, let's say, minus 10 or a minus 14.5, just like I did the other play. Let me show you what I did yesterday, just as an example. So I took this one. Where is this? Where the hell is this? Right here. So I took Houston at a minus 14.5 and Arkansas at a minus 9.5. So that's the exact same logic you would do here. So you would take, instead of taking that huge spread of minus 30, you would probably take it, let's say, minus 14.5 and then parlay it with something else. Or the other way you could do this is you would take this live. You would wait to see if, for any reason, the Long Island University Sharks start going down, and then you have great odds on the Wildcats, then you would take them live. So that's what we've been doing actually on the live scanner, which is actually part of this here. I'm not going to get into these details, but basically this is exactly what we've been doing, is taking these heavy favorites or numbers that have been shifting while the game is going on live, and that's how we've been hitting on these live bets. So anyways, I do like Arizona. I'm not going to take them at that huge spread. I'll do one more, and then we'll go from there, guys. Let me know what you think. So the next one I'm looking at here is going to be Iowa. So this is a medium edge on Iowa. Let me go back. Okay. Let me make sure on this because there's a couple of Iowa plays. I'm pretty sure it's this one because let's see. Anyways, you can see how huge this difference is right here. 92 for Iowa State, and then Tennessee Tigers is 66. So there's supposed 99% chance that these guys are going to win it, obviously. 7th ranked elite team. This is 16th ranked elite team. ICU, pretty much they get all ranked in every category. You can see this is very weak defense compared to an A grade elite offense. Points per game is dramatic. Well, not that crazy. 3 points. These guys allow a lot more points. So this is another example of a super heavy favorite. So this is just, again, I'm going to use the example that I just gave. I can now go look at the odds, and maybe I can get let me just look at what this current odds are, because it's not showing me the line movement. So give me a second here. Let me see what the lines are for Iowa. Iowa State is minus 23. So again, we can use this as an example. I can go minus 9.5 or minus 11.5 on Iowa, and then parlay that together with the other one, which was Arizona, and then I can do like a minus 14.5, exactly like I just did yesterday. Is this making sense, guys? Let me know. I'll do one more thing here, and then I'll talk about the NBA. So anyways, I'm not going to go through every single one, but you can see Wildcats are supposed to take this. Texas is supposed to take this. Virginia is supposed to take this. Iowa, I just talked about. Crimson Tide. Utah State. Tennessee Volunteers. Iowa Hawkeyes. UCLA Bruins. I can't bet on UCLA because that's Illinois, I believe. If it's in Illinois, I can't bet it. You got Purdue, Florida Gators, Kansas Jayhawks, and Milwaukee Hurricanes. Or I'm sorry, Miami Hurricanes. Yeah, you're cool, man. Appreciate you all being here. I'm going to talk about one game in basketball, and I'm sorry, in the NBA, and I'll show. I don't have the slip in front of me, but I'll show you. So again, this tool is called the Sharp Edge tool. It gives you all that information I just went through. So let me take a look at the sharp plays very quickly, and it's giving me some unders that I don't like. So even if this tool is showing me that there's a very strong, this tool alone, just by looking at this sheet every day, has been hitting at a 65% hit rate. But there's certain things I don't touch. So for example, New York Knicks is going against the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets pretty much have nothing to play for, just pride. And the Knicks are still fighting for number one position. So the Knicks, not only that, but it's a huge blowout. It should be a huge blowout. So you can see right here, the Knicks, and look at this. The line is 14.5 to 18.5. The line is shifting in the Knicks' favor. So whenever it's a big blowout like that, you don't want to look at unders, because what happens is that the team will be blowing out. Let me just give you an example, because this happened. We've been burned so many times with this. I'll just tell you how it works. If it's a big blowout scenario like this, and you're looking on the under, towards the end of the game, if one team is winning by a lot, let's say they're winning by 30 points, pretty much they sit out their starters, especially this late in the season, and especially going against a team that sucks. So then what happens is that the Nets are just going to do a lot of garbage time, and then the garbage time is going to come back and start scoring a lot. So then it kills these unders dramatically towards the end of the game. I hope that's making sense, guys. Yeah, so holy cow, 18 on Kaushi. Yeah, that's what it is. Great content. Thank you. All right. So this is one of the plays I was looking at. I'm actually liking the Nets, but I'm taking them. I believe I took them at a plus 24.5 or something like that. And the reason that is that the Knicks definitely want to win this game, but they don't care about covering the stupid long big spread. So as long as they win the game, that's all they care about. They don't care about covering 20 points. On top of that, the Nets they're both rested, I believe. Yeah. So let me get right back into it. So anyways, one of the angles that I've been hitting with is looking at these super heavy favorites. Actually, you know what? Never mind that. I canceled that one out because Brooklyn. No, let me get back. I took that back. I didn't cash out, but I took it off the board because the Knicks are actually not going to be coasting today, because they do want that number one spot. So they're not just going to sit around. So they might just cover this large spread. I'm not saying that they will, but those are the scenarios you want to stay away from because it's too questionable. Now, let me get into the play. I'm going to give you guys one play for being here. Appreciate you all. So let me kind of zoom in a little bit. Detroit is playing at home. They lost their star, Cunningham. I think he's going to be out for like 2 to 3 weeks. He had a collapsed lung. It was a scary situation there. And I think he's going to be out pretty much for half of the playoffs or something. I don't know. Anyway, they were at home yesterday. I think they blew out the Orlando Magic, I believe. Anyways, whatever it was, they were at home. They ended up winning by a lot. And then they traveled, and now they're in Golden State today. So Golden State is rested. They have a one-day rest advantage. That's shown right here. Golden State, actually Pistons are at home, and they stayed at home, now that I see this. So never mind the travel scenario, but they are on a back-to-back. And they lost their key player. Remember that. So it does show that the Pistons are supposed to win this by 7. Now let me show you something dramatic here. 73% of the bets, 69% of the money came in on Detroit. And the line actually opened up that Detroit is supposed to win this by 13 points. However, now the books are saying they're only going to win by 5 points. So this is actually a reverse line move. What this means is that the Golden State started at a plus 13 or plus 12.5, and now it's currently at a plus 5. So what this means, again, is that the sharp money is pushing the hell out of this line. And you can tell that because 73% of the bets, 69% of the money is coming in on Detroit. Yet the line is shifting 8 points towards Golden State. Okay? Let me know if that makes sense. So think about this. They lost their key player. They're on a back-to-back. They're pretty much locked into the first or second seed already. And then the Warriors actually are on the bubble. So they want to win. Not only that, but the Warriors actually have a very strong schedule. They've been winning with a very difficult schedule. So when you see these kind of numbers, it's kind of scary. You're like, shit, these guys only win 14% of the time. But they're covering spreads 40% of the time. And they've had the fourth worst schedule, meaning the fourth toughest schedule, versus Pistons, which have had the 30th easiest schedule. I hope that's making sense. Anyways, what I'm taking here is Golden State, I don't think is going to win this game. And like I showed you here, Cunningham is out, so that kills their offense. Wendell Moore also kills their offense. It also messes with their defense. I think this is a very small sample size, so be careful with this one. But this one is dramatic. They do lose a lot of points without Cunningham. And then Golden State does have a lot of injuries, so you got to be careful with all that stuff. But all these numbers are baked in already. What I did is I bought it back to the plus 6.5 on the Warriors side. So what that does is, again, is hitting it right at the projected number. I'm thinking they're not going to cover the spread for all the reasons that I said. So I am taking the Warriors 6.5. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys like that. If you guys want this stuff that I just showed you, let me show you this again. I'm going to start using this pretty much the rest of March. I'm going to run these scenarios here, and basically it's running this proven system from different people. So what I do, I myself study. So I look at all the other people that are posting content. I look at other cappers. So I do my own research on top of the stuff that I'm showing you. I actually look at what other people are doing. So I've taken this system from different people and I combined it all together. And then that's what we came up with here. All right. So it's not just some bullshit that I threw out there. This is actually a winning formula. Anyways, I'll be throwing this out there every day. I'm thinking I'm going to throw it out on the Discord. So check that out. The link is in the description. You get 7 days for free on that. And I'm also thinking I'm going to throw these out there on I'll be doing live betting for this stuff too. So the Discord plus live betting, and then I'll be throwing out the free picks also. So make sure you get the free picks. All right. I don't see any comments coming in. I don't know if it's just a lag or whatever. Let me check my phone real quick. I'll answer any final questions, and then I'll be out of here. Let's see. No, I don't see any questions. All right, guys. I hope you guys like that. I hope you guys appreciate that. And like I said, make sure you get the free picks. Make sure you get the free picks. Make sure you check out the Discord. We've been hitting a lot on the live channel. And that's about it, guys. What's up? Oh, I'm glad you asked this. You're doing any props? So this is something I was working on. And I actually finished it yesterday, but I have to yeah, live bets are fire. Yeah, they've been fire, man. Yesterday was a little slower. I did a big mistake. I went to pick up my daughter. I was live betting, and then my daughter called me that she had to get picked up from work. So then I left, and when I came back, I actually placed bets against the stuff that I already had because I wasn't paying attention. So I was looking at stuff like the line shifting the opposite direction. I actually started betting on the opposite side. So 2 of those 3 losses came because I wasn't paying attention. So I apologize about that. But overall picture, they've been hitting a lot. Look at this record right here. 9-3 yesterday, 99-30 run in the last 8 days. Okay, so it's like a 70-ish% hit rate. All right, what do we got? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the live betting. So give me a second here. So this is something that I'm still working on, but it's almost done. I'm sorry, the props. So this is the way it's going to look. It's not finished. I mean, it's finished now, but it's just not live right now because I haven't updated it to update automatically. But this is the way it's going to look. you can see right here, it's going to give you, basically, this is very simple to understand. This is literally going to give you the players that are facing weak defense. So this is what this means: defense versus position. Okay, so literally, let me just show you what this means on Outlier. Give me a second. I think it's better if I just explain it the way it looks. Let me go back over here. Give me a second. Let me load this up. But this page right here you're looking at is going to be the filtered out version of all this other crap. So where the hell is this? Give me a second. Props. All right, let me look at points just so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. So just think of this, okay? If you look at this graph, you're going to see all the players over here. Now, the first thing we want to look at is this opposition rank. So if we sort this by, if we're looking at the overs, actually, so let me look at the overs. What we want is obviously the worst defense, right? So then we sort this by worst defense. This is what we're looking at. So we're looking at the 15 plus worst defense, meaning the worst defense from the 15th rank to the 32nd rank, okay? Or whatever, 30th rank, whatever it is. So that's what this means. Defense versus rank 15 plus, okay? Second filter is, it says head-to-head, 0 to 80. So the head-to-head trends, which is right here. So basically, we'll grab all these players that have 15 to 32 and just look at those. Then the second filter goes out the head-to-head. And then if those match and you get the head-to-head, excuse me, if you get the head-to-head 80% or better, then that stays in there, okay? And then the last thing is the last 5 games. So then it'll go, if those players still get filtered out, it'll go in the last 5 games. And then if it matches, all those stuff matches, then it gets put into here, okay? So then, look, you could see this is points, this is rebounds, this is assists, this is points, rebounds, and assists, this is points and rebounds, this is points and assists, and these are double-doubles, okay? And then everything I just said is literally right here. So all this stuff is going to be part of the Sharp Edge too. It's already created. I just have to run it and automate it so that it's getting fresh data every day, which I'll be doing later today. But that's going to be good for this and for the other sports. And then we can kind of do any prop that we want, and it's already filtered out. So we're not even like guessing. Then you can just kind of do your research from there. But it'll be very good plays because they're filtered out. Not only that, one final thing I'll say is that it has a live tracker. So basically, if let's say there was a player right here, let's use Cade Cunningham. Let's say he had 25 points, and then it'll be, when the game comes on live, it'll actually show you how many points he has, or points, rebounds, and all that stuff. So you can literally see this live, and it'll tell you if it's winning or losing, and then you can do a live bet if you wanted to at that point. I missed the live betting every time. Yeah, well, I usually start like second quarter-ish of the games. What I'm realizing too is that whenever I started doing live betting on the first quarter, it's not good because the stuff changes so much after the first quarter. It doesn't make sense. I'm probably just going to start doing second quarter and beyond. Can you put the live bets you place in the VIP? Is that possible? The reason this is not possible, I've explained this in the past, is the lines shift so fast that by the time I go into my Winnable app, then I upload it, then I choose VIP. It's not a simple system to use. I have to go in there. I have to put in a title, put in a description, pick the image, then choose which group it's going to go to, then click send. Then I have to verify the bet. Then I have to send it. By the time I do all that for one bet, the play is gone. So the way I'm doing it now is I'm doing it live on Discord. So as soon as I place the bet, compare what I just said to what I'm going to say now. I place the bet, I take a screenshot, and I put it on Discord. So you get it instantly. So that's the reason I can't do it like that. Gotta go, Beast. Appreciate the teaching. Yep. You too, man. Thanks for being here. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all. If you guys want the free picks, go to the link in the description. Also, check out the Sharp Edge. That's becoming more and more valuable as the days go on. And I'll keep adding more stuff that I need. Basically putting the tools that I'm using and I'm putting them in there. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you all. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, send me a text. And we'll go from there if you guys are interested in that. Get the free picks. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day.